Step this. Sweet.
Thank you.
So, as for gear, I figure you're wearing your armor, weapons, gear, clothes. You have what I'm referring to as a two-dimensional backpack. It's got all the same properties as standard backpack, carry capacity of 100 pounds, but it's a lot like a bag of holding. When you open the top of it, it goes from tissue thin to full 3 dimension. You reach in, you can get around it, but when you close it, it goes flat. You
So
can roll it
basically,
up.
oh,
Huh?
okay. I was just saying, so it basically just sits flat to your back, or
You can. It does have straps on it. You can wear it like a standard pack, or you can roll it up and stuff it in a good sized pocket. Similar to a bag of holding, there's zero weight for what's in it. There's zero bulk for what's in it. I have this huge problem with role playing games where I've got a week's worth of rations, a tinder box, and 73 other pounds on my back. And now I'm going to go into combat as an agility fighter?
yeah,
No.
real survival. Yeah, not
Yeah, nope.
not
So,
realistic.
you can carry up to 2 of these bags at a time. They don't interfere. Anything more than that, bad things can happen. Just saying. You've never seen anything, but you've heard some pretty nasty horror stories about craters being left behind. They highly recommend you don't try to wear 2 of these at once or have 2 of them rolled up in a pocket at once. They highly recommend not rolling them up and sticking them in the same pocket. So,
All right.
but yeah, story wise, and you've been busily trying to do odd jobs and stuff to save up enough to get out of town. The whole shit hit the fan with your dad wasn't that long ago. It's still fresh, and leaving is still, as luck would have it, you managed to save up 10 gold in cash. And just the other day, Ver, the local street performer, who you know loosely, stopped by and got your attention and asked if you were looking to earn another 10 gold. Relatively easy. It's just taking a road trip, walking to the next town, keeping the package safe. Sounded like a great idea because that gets you to 20 gold out the door and you could use the money. And it's an excuse to leave. So the winds of
That's a
fate
big one.
felt right. And so you find yourself dawn of the day of departure walking up to the eastern gate of this starting town, which I still have not named, so we will carry on. The normal man gate is open and people are coming through, but you also notice in the wall next to it a rather grandiose gate. You know it's the gate for the train that comes in and out of town, loaded with cargo and whatnot. They usually don't open it until the train's getting ready to roll. So train must be heading out fairly soon. It parallels the road you guys are going to be walking on, far enough away to not be a threat by any means. But if you get headed out now, it'll probably pass you on the way. It's it's not an unusual thing. This is a major shipping town. Things come and go all the time.
Does does hitching a ride on the train cost gold? I
A,
imagine.
a small fortune, frankly.
Okay.
It's exclusive elite. It's the safest way to travel. They consider it virtually indestructible. They at least advertise it that way. This is D&D. We all know better. So,
Has there been any attempts ever of like hitching a ride on the train?
like hobo in it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. About the time you try to get on, the guards that are all posted on every train kindly ask you to step back off or show them your ticket.
Okay.
You'd have to be pretty impressive to sneak in, and frankly, you're a big boy. You're not sneaking on the train. Somebody gonna see you.
All right.
You start chasing the train, you hear thump, 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 thump behind the train. Somebody gonna look.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He didn't know that we're taking cargo, right?
I told him that there was a job to be had not mentioned cargo. Well, I was just about to.
When you arrive at the gate, you see Ver standing there, and she thrusts a backpack into your hands and 10 gold and says, "Carry this."
Is it one of the thin like okay?
Yeah.
Yep. So that'll make your second pack because you're currently lugging one that's got whatever your basic starting shit is. As long as it's within reason, write it down. You know, if you've got a tinderbox, great. If you've got a magic wand that is a cantrip that can make fire, that could be your fire kit. These are all things that when we get back to this town, which will happen at some point, there's all kinds of cool shit to go shopping for, but they're not cheap. They're you know of a store here in town, just to throw it out there. It's called Morgan's Mystical Mercantile. Morgan's Mystical Mercantile. And this is kind of one of those stores. In my head, it's a little bit like the Weasley twins from Harry Potter, their store. It's a little outlandish, a little crooked, a little wonky, but they got the coolest stuff.
People like it, yeah.
Oh God, everything from you can get yourself a refrigerator for your house that's a magic box that stays cold type mercantile on up to the grenades, the wands, the potions. If it's magical and it's basic, they could have it. If you've got a want, they've got a request like section where you can go talk to somebody and say, "Hey, I was wondering, is this a thing? And if not, maybe it could be."
We make it a thing. All right.
Or what the Morgans do. The Morgans, they're the family that is the super wealthy in this town, the head honchos, as it were. Closest thing to royalty this town has. But their business motto is customer first. They're gonna do what they can to figure out what they can to make the customer happy. It might not be cheap, but they'll bend over backwards for you. They'll put the work in.
Okay.
But yeah, she shoves you this bag in your hand and 10 gold, and the gold's got some weight to it. It feels good. Feels like freedom.
Is there a reason you need me to carry it?
Because I've already got one.
So do I.
No, I mean I'm wearing two now.
Oh,
so
you've
are
already
you.
got. Oh, so that's your third bag to me. Okay. All right.
That's why you get half the money.
Got
Help
it.
me get it there.
And you got some big muscles that might help you survive the trip. Because again, outside these walls, it's the wild,
Okay.
wild west of D&D. Anything can happen. It's chaotic.
So
Almost.
I'll keep the bag that she gave me on my back.
Okay.
And then my bag I'll just have it's gonna be rolled up in my furs or whatever.
Tucked in your loincloth. Check.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Very craftily stored somewhere else.
That's right. I mean, it adds a little girth to your loincloth, but nobody's complained yet. I'm just saying.
Don't lose it or it'll be very expensive for us.
The only way I'm losing it if I lose my back. So I think we'll be all right.
I'm just saying.
I haven't lost it yet.
That's the rumor. Well, you find yourself stepping through the gate eastward. The road, just like inside town, is extremely well paved, beautiful stonework. Nothing filigreed or anything, but the seams fit together nice. It's straight as an arrow, and peters off into the distance. Just north of said road that you're walking on is the set of tracks. It's about 40-45 feet over there. Fairly wide gauge tracks, and the trains are rather large. And they run in, they run out. Somehow they don't interfere with each other, even though you know there's only one set of tracks that goes from this town to the next one. Somehow they don't have issues in the middle. Some sort of magic, I guess. It doesn't make sense to either of you. But the morning sun invites you to get to stepping. You know, it's about 9.5, 10-hour hike from one town to the next. A good long travel. But you also know that you're not chasing the light by any means. But being out here in the dark, not recommended. You think the daytime issues are bad. The bravery of shit in the nighttime gets, yeah. Even the trains tend not to if they can avoid it.
I'm gonna get about 50 feet out. I just want to take a brief look back and see if anybody else is following us or coming out with us.
Uh, your like passive perception score just for ha-has. I could use that from both of you actually.
Because it's 10 plus our Prisma bonus, right?
I don't remember the mechanics on it, unfortunately.
That's to you.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, 10 plus your wisdom modifier. Okay. So 10.
Okay. And what's your passive perception, Fenrir?
I'm sorry, what was it, Andrea? How?
It's 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
10 as well.
Yeah. You glance back, you see an elderly couple trying to get into town, but one of the guards seems to be giving them a little guff. But other than that, the gate's empty.
Okay.
And by guff, I mean they're going through both of their backpacks, like gutting them out, double checking for, looks like they're looking for like secret pouches or something, like maybe mom and pa are packing pack mules. So yeah, feels like you're out the door. That fresh air smells a little freer, a little puts a spring in your step, motivate.
Okay.
And as for that text, Mike, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
I have an idea, so.
Awesome. Worst comes to worst, we'll wait for my wife to go to the bathroom and talk about it real quick.
There we go.
Which will happen soon, I'm sure.
But of course, part of this
Yeah,
diet
it might happen with me too, because I'm having a drink, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, part of this calorie deprivation diet we're doing has a whole lot to do with drink way too much fucking water.
Uh-huh.
Way too much water.
Yeah.
120 ounces a day.
How much?
120 ounces a day, which is 8 ounces short of a gallon.
That's not bad. I bet you guys are feeling better though, huh?
I already drink a lot of water, but absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's Joe actually just started. Because I mean I've already been doing it for quite a while, but like I've been doing just fasting.
Yeah.
I'll do basically 18 hours a day. I'll fast.
Yep.
And so Joe just started it 2 days ago, and so she's on her second day, and
and in 6 weeks she's gonna just disappear.
That's I was gonna say, I was like, you're honestly within 30 days you're gonna be exactly where you want to be, probably. It's not gonna take long.
We're doing 16 hours.
Nice. Yeah, that's 16, 18, right around there. That's like the perfect number.
As long as it's over 16, you're good to go.
Yeah.
It takes that long for the body to switch gears and start burning body fat. So
exactly. Yep.
Anywho.
Yeah, back.
As we stride forth, pretty much the only thing you see and hear around you is some basic wildlife chirping, occasional chipmunk out there losing its mind, screaming at something, but it's a long ways off. The road, very similar to the town itself, has been margined. The edges are well groomed, well cut. You know, there's a train that does regular rotations throughout this that not only carries a crew of cutters, but they also have flamethrowers attached to it just in case they need to do a brush burn on the way by. They're quite good at what they do. This train, most of all, don't fuck with that train. Everybody knows stay well because they don't care what or who they shoot this stuff at. They're doing a job, and if you're in the way, too bad, so sad.
All right.
Most people get the clue real quick. Every now and then you hear a horror story of a wild animal wandering out and inadvertently getting clipped, and you don't want anything to do with that. You've heard of dragon fire, but the stuff's supposed to be worse.
And do we know, is there a set rotation? Like
twice a year.
Okay.
It takes them that long to do the full circuit, so every 6 months or so. And it really depends on where you're at. There's plenty of warning, so it's not like it's going to pop up on you. They're loud, they're boisterous. They actually have a bit of a pace train that goes ahead of them to warn towns, kind of like the Silver Surfer, but for a train. So yeah, you got elbow room. The trees along the edge are what I would call subarctic. You guys are summertime now, but it looks like this place gets real cold in the winter. You're familiar with how ugly cold it can get, but you're also familiar with the fact that the roads and the trains still open to travel most of the time, unless it's right in the middle of a blizzard. Which you get.
And what season are we in again?
Right in the middle of summer.
Summer, okay.
You got about another month before the weather starts getting cooler.
Okay.
So not a bad time to travel as long as you don't mind a little warm. But up here, warm's still only looking at 70, 75 tops on a hot day.
Shit, okay.
Thinking like southern Alaska type.
Okay.
So in the summertime, it's warm. In the wintertime, it's cold.
Got it.
Cool. You'd be walking around, your little nipples would be hard. Wearing a shirt.
I've got my cloth shirt on. We're good.
Yeah. Hanes t-shirt in a blizzard. Love it.
That's right. Gotta stay warm.
You see, as we start walking down the street, that I pat my sides and packs like several times, making sure everything's in place.
I just kind of give you a side glance, like, okay.
Done this a few times, but I've always had somebody else with me.
You've always had somebody else with you?
Yeah, I mean, just somebody more, I guess, used to traveling these paths, these ways.
What she's expressing is she's always gone with a senior type person.
Got it.
Like her first solo flight.
I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll be all right.
Well, I'm glad that you were going the same way I am.
Anything to get me the hell out of that town.
Speaking of, how are things standing with your father?
She heard about the fight. Everybody heard about the fight.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really want to talk about that. That's yeah. I just keep walking.
Short little legs. I'm managing to keep up with him, but I'm
Oh yeah.
kind of
How
pushing
tall are you?
5 feet.
5 feet? Oh, that's not bad. I'm only 6'2", so it's not that big of a difference. It's like me and Joe. No big deal.
Exactly.
So every once in a while, you'll see Bear almost like hop, skip, and jump to catch back up.
Yeah,
and
do that little like.
Yeah. As you guys carry along down this path, not even really talking all that much, but making good time. You're pushing on almost an hour and a half on the road when you hear a familiar rumbling behind you. As you glance over your shoulder, in far distance, you see the telltale plume of steam that rises from this somewhat mechanical, somewhat magical contraption they pass for a train. It looks a little bit like a train on the outside in that it's got the wheels and it's kind of aerodynamic and stuff, but design wise, it's not all Wild Wild West type train. We're talking it looks a whole lot more like let's call it a Final Fantasy airship. So it's sleek, but it's stylized. I mean, there's a whole lot of art put into this thing. But then you watch it function and the small arcs of lightning that crawl all over the engine of this thing. You start to wonder if some of those stylized designs, a lot like sails on a ship, are more than just beautiful. They have a purpose. What that purpose is, obviously, it makes the thing move. But it still belches steam. It still chugs out fairly quietly, but as it rolls past you, it's the rumble on the tracks that you hear so well. For this thing is heavy. You're pretty sure without magic assistance, it'd never move. But it rolls on past you with its clickety clack on the tracks. Up on top, you see a single rifleman sitting just behind the train's cab, just behind the engine. Gives you a head nod on the way by, and they slowly wind off into the distance.
Wave back at him.
And the day carries on. Feel free to interrupt me anytime you want, just for gameplay purposes. Till then, I will just narrate until something goes wrong. You guys grab a bite to eat while you're walking. Occasional little chit chats, but after the shutdown earlier and the avoidance of topic, conversation's been short. Very, very vanilla, very, very neutral. Co-workers, as you will. Roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the heat of the day, a new sound penetrates. Something out of place. Sound like a dog yipping, like maybe it got hit with a rock. Loud, distant, but a couple moments later, maybe even a couple minutes later, you hear some distant barking noises. Definitely multiple hounds. Sounds like it's pretty much right down the road ahead of you. Do you guys want to do anything special other than just be alert?
Nope. I'm keeping my pace and continuing forward.
Take out my hand crossbow.
Okay. You'll wander along the road somewhat, and it curves, a gentle bend up ahead. Over the tree line to the right, you notice a pillar of steam rising straight up into the air. Very familiar pillar of steam. But the sound isn't there. There's no thunk 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 of it rolling over the rails. As you come closer to the bend in the road, the barking gets loud and insistent again with another yipping. Seems like in pain almost. What do I do?
I speed up and keep walking towards it.
Okay. As you guys round the gentle curve, the road dips away ever so slightly. You see the tail end of the train up on top of the rear cab of the train at this point, where the engine and basically two cars. Standing on the rear of the two cars is the rifleman pointing down the gap between the road and the train. You see a short humanoid type creature, multiple of them, as a matter of fact, busily snapping and threateningly attacking three swordsmen that are also wearing the same uniforms as the rifleman. I think I have a second here to lay out locations. So you guys would be off to do that. What you see before you is a small band of kobolds, which, if you're familiar with, are basically little dog people. They're like goblins, but they're canine instead of reptilian type appearance. Their muzzles snap and tear at the swordsman trying to defend the train. Currently, you see almost 10 of them down there, but you also hear yipping in the tree line to the south of you over the road. Looks like these ones came out and took first strike. In front of the train, there's a rather large log hauled across the tracks, causing the train to have to stop. And now they're under siege. Not only do you see the guards and the kobolds there, the man up on the roof with the rifle, but back by the cab, looking out one of the windows, you see what looks like a child's face, crying, hands pushed against the window, trying to see what's going on, but tears just running down his little face. As far as location wise, the road would be the like bottom edge of the map over here.
I'm just keeping my pace on, and I'm staying on the road.
Okay.
How far away are we?
About 20 yards when you really get a good sight of what's going on. So you could get there in one turn, but you'd have to dash. That would bring you abreast of what's going on here and onto the map.
Is that close enough for my hand crossbow?
I don't know what the range on it is. So 20 yards would be
Says-
60 feet.
It says 3120.
Okay, so it'd be a long shot, but you could move 30 and then shoot 30.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so that would put you, we're just so we got you on the map. Good one. That would put you about here. Fenrir's still over on the edge of the road.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna stop there and kind of watch as she does her thing.
So you line up and take a shot on, I presume, one of the kobolds, or are you shooting a guard? What are we doing here?
Kobolds.
Okay, I just want, I don't know. I'm gonna try not to assume anything here.
I know.
I mean, last game you incinerated all the hostages, so
We're taking over
I
the
sure
train,
did.
baby. What are you doing, mister? What's not working? Well, go ask mommy.
I gotta get to my dice. Okay. See if I hit the broadside of a barn.
well, you're shooting at advantage because they don't know you're there and their back's turned to you. So
Okay. And
10, it hits him, but it doesn't do any damage. It seems to get caught up in the ragged armor, catches him in like one of the shoulder pads and gets stuck. But it yelps in surprise, turns and looks up the hill towards you and snarls like a canine would. and then barks out something that might have been speech. A couple of the other ones, they look like maybe their heads turn real quick to acknowledge that you're there. You rolled a 10 with advantage.
I rolled a 3 and a 7.
I thought we were going to open this with a softball and you kind of whiff it. Wow. Well,
I don't know what to say.
You can't always knock them out of the park, all right?
I know. You just get knock the rust off a little.
All right, say bye.
Bye-bye now.
Night.
Bye-bye. Here, hold on. Hold on. We shall be sociable size. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, he's already gone.
Nope.
I moved mine over, so he saw you guys full size.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
As that bolt lands and that kobold barks out some what sounds like guttural language in the tree line behind you guys on the south side of the road, you hear barking in response. You can't tell how many, but there's more than 2.
Are you having fun?
Is that in game or are you talking to your children?
No, that's in game for her.
Okay.
Thought it was.
Is your microphone like twisted down and around or something weird?
Mine?
It's not picking up like your first 2 words. No, Andrea's.
Oh,
I don't know.
There, that's working a whole lot better.
well, I'm gonna turn around then and look behind me then.
In the tree line behind you, you see 5 more kobolds step out. 3 of them have slings in their hand and they're starting to twirl them with a rock.
Good night.
Let's see here. How far away are they?
20 feet.
20 feet. I'm gonna pull my great axe off my back and just kind of hold it at and look at them and see what they
Roll
decide.
me an intimidation roll.
Okay.
Add your strength modifier to it because you're like flexing on them.
Okay.
And feel free to call your own in things like this. Feel free to call your own modifier. If you're gonna flex on them, use your strength modifier. If you're gonna talk them to death, use your intelligence modifier.
That's a 22.
A 22. As you stretch and flex, your muscles do that almost like anime bulge. The veins pop. The one in your neck starts pulsing. And I said there were 5 of them. Oops. I'll go find that later. All 5 of them look at you, and just the sling slowly twirls and dangles on all 3 of the ones with slings. The other ones, little short spears in their hands, they're just stopping and staring at this. The specimen of humanity.
Yes.
On top of the cart, you hear the rifleman shout something. You're pretty sure he says, "Get in the fight." But it's a little muffled over the frankly loud ass barking going on at this point. It's kind of set the whole pack on edge. The ones that are somewhat intimidated by you in front are stunned, but the ones behind over at the train are fighting for their lives. They're stabbing at these guards. The guards have long swords and they're laying about them really defensively. But you see that all 3 of them have bloodstains on their uniforms at this point. They've been tagged. They've managed to kill one. You can't tell where or how it died, but it's dead on the field. But the rest of them, they seem to have the upper hand. They're picking these guards apart. You're not sure how much longer they're going to make it. The rifleman's up top taking aim again. What do you guys want to do?
Shoot my hand crossbow again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stand there still just flexing on the ones.
Okay.
So I hit with a 22,
Absolutely.
and that's going to be 9 points of damage.
The one that you tagged in the shoulder, you kind of adjusted for the wind a little bit on the second shot and thread it literally in just below its jaw, up into its brain pan, and you see its eyes do that like twitch flutter because it's still staring at you, but it just kind of flutter, flutter, flutter. And then he does the almost comical slow fall. Good. The one next to him, let's see if he notices. Yeah, he out of the corner of his eye, he sees his buddy collapse, just like the light switch got turned off. And his head turns, and as he turns to look back at you, you see a longsword blade protrude from his chest. As the guard captain here takes advantage of the situation and runs through the second kobold. Your eyes meet his over the kobold's shoulder, and he just nods, and he pulls his blade, readies himself for defense on the other two. The other guards are holding their own. Let's see how well. They're doing okay. They're doing okay. A few more nicks and cuts, but they're holding. They got this for the minute. The kobolds at the tree line. Yeah. Start shaking themselves loose. The other kobolds barking and stuff seems to be working them back into a frenzy. And you see re-ready the stone and getting ready to get their slings up and twirling. But two with the spears start running up the hill towards you. As they get to you, you technically have initiative because you were holding your action because you were just standing there looking epic.
As I see them start running at me, I'm gonna charge them, and
Okay.
I'm gonna go for them.
Are you going to rage?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay.
All right. And I will go ahead. You said two of them were coming at me?
Correct.
Okay,
You'll have
so
two within range and then three further behind with slings.
Okay, so I will take a swing at, I guess, the one that's on my right-hand side.
Sure.
And that would be a 16 to hit.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that is for 9 damage.
Yeah, he comes running at you with his spear, and he kind of tries to lunge. You take your axe and literally cleave right through the haft of the spear and catch him in the chest. Not only does your blade sink in deep, but parts of the spear as they're crushed back into him almost impale the little bastard. So he's got his own spear jabbed into his chest, busted off. The axe blade cleaves through and pops up. His eyes roll back in his head, and he drops over backwards with an audible gasp as the air leaks out through the hole in his chest. The other one, seeing his buddy go down, gets inspired, and he swings, and will a 15 hit?
It hits.
Okay. So that'll be 3 points of damage to you as this rusty, nasty, you hope you're not going to get tetanus spear jabs into your pec. It just thunk. In response, you almost just kind of flex a little bit, like you grab it with your own physical pectoral muscle and look down at the little bastard like, did you really just do that?
All right. Okay. And that's all I can do. So.
Cool. There. You're kind of the top of the round at this point. Oh, you do hear a gunshot go off, but it does. You don't know what or if he hit anything.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot another one next to that guard.
You keep trying to peel this guy clean. Cool.
Yep. Nat 20.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that auto kills. It goes right into its eyeball, and it stands there and does almost like the sock dude at the used car that does all the. But he kind of just slowly sways. He does not fall. He's still standing there. You can tell the lights are off. There's no thought going on, but somehow his animalistic core brain is keeping his balance and his muscles intact, and he's just slowly swaying there. Guard captain takes a swing on the other one with a nat 20 and cleaves its head off. So he's looking at the one slowly swaying with this small crossbow bolt out of its eye and just absentmindedly swings his blade out to his left. And it catches the other kobold right across the throat. And it's yipping and howling, and then blood starts bubbling out of the neck hole because the air is now escaping from this, and it sputters and it collapses to the ground. And for all intents and purposes, this guy is now no longer surrounded. Dun, dun, dun. Cool. Fenrir. Hold on. Let me see how the other two guards are doing. Yeah, one of them's starting to look. The guy over here has still got 3 on him. He's looking a little pale. He's starting to look like maybe he's definitely bloodied. So yeah, if saving any of those guards is any of your priority, it might be something to put some thought into. If you don't give a shit, that's awesome too.
I'm going to take the end of my turn and move up 30 towards him.
Didn't understand any of that.
I'm going to take the end of my turn and move up 30 towards him.
Towards him?
Towards the blue guy.
The one over here.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's struggling.
To me, they're all blue, but on the screen, yeah, you're right. That's the blue one.
They actually look black.
Yeah, that one's like dramatically blue compared to the other two.
Totally. Different plastic at the Lego factory that day.
Huh.
You are currently 35 feet away from the nearest kobold. Cool. Yeah, Fenrir, you've got one standing in front of you who's currently embedded a spear. It's still there. He jabbed it in and did not pull back. It's just thunk. And he's looking up, and I mean up. These things are shorter than Ver. So he's looking up at
I'm gonna
you.
I'm gonna do one of those where I just kind of look down at the spear and look at him, grab the spear out, and just kind of pull it out. And then I'm gonna kick him to the ground and just cleave him with my axe.
Okay.
If I hit.
Cool. Let's start with the kick.
Yep. Let's see. That'd be strength too, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's a 16.
And what's your strength modifier?
Well, so I rolled a 13 and I have a +3 for my strength.
You have a +3. So the kick does 1 point of damage plus your strength modifier. So that's 4 points of damage. And as you kick this thing in the chest, you hear all of its bones shatter. You hear the bones in its chest almost like a firecracker as your foot just buries itself. And then it flies back from your foot a good 20 feet and literally smashes into one of the sling guys, knocking him to the ground, and his stone rolls loosely. But he's dead. He's a crunchy bag of bones.
All right then. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and close the distance between me and the other sling guys then.
Okay. So
actually, no. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna stand there, and now I'm gonna look at the sling guys, and I'm gonna kind of flex on them again and see what they want to do.
Okay. They've seen that trick, so they're not falling for it this time. And,
okay. Figured maybe their friend getting their chest kicked in.
They're intimidated. The two of them release stones. One of them actually manages to find purchase, and it does. Stone at this point. So that'd be 3 points of damage to you.
Shit.
Clips off your shin, and your leg is now just screaming in pain. You're not sure if it's broke or not, but damn, that hurt.
All right. The bastard's gonna get it.
And you see him digging in there with like pouches for more ammo. So okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
I think that brings us to the rifleman's turn. Let's see what he can hit from there. One of the two sling guys who's digging in his pouch grows a third eye as the gunshot cracks and whizzing past you, a projectile catches him right between the eyes. And he stumbles back into the brush behind him and kind of topples into nothingness behind him, disappearing into the shrubs. And that brings us back to Ver's turn.
Okay.
You've got the drop on these guys. It's not a sneak attack, but how much?
18.
Oh, that'll do.
And that's a 11 for damage.
Jesus Christ, with a hand crossbow.
Damage.
Andrea, say rock, paper, or scissors. I don't care what. Just pick one. Rock. Okay. So you hit this one in basically right in the base of the spine, right between its shoulder blades. And you hear this whimpering yowl come from it as its last breaths are issued out. The death knoll of this, well, knoll is pretty nasty. It's like a dying dog. It's awful. But the guard that was being stabbed by it seems a little relieved. For that purpose, I'm going to go ahead and roll those two. Okay. As that one goes down, this guard over here gets heavily distracted by the sound, and he glances away, and this knoll over here drives his spear deep into his chest. He's bloodied and unconscious on the ground. That one's holding his own, but not killing anything. This one runs over. I'm going to give him a full-on attack mode. Comes up swinging behind, but just bad footing prevents him from actually connecting with the knoll as it lunges forward and stabs his buddy. The guy here exclaims, "Shoot them!" in a bloody request for assistance. Were you going to move anymore, Bear?
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and move 20 feet towards the bright blue one again.
Cool. Cool. And you shot, and they attacked, and that brings us back to Fenrir's turn. You've got one slinger in front of you, but he seems to have motivation at this point. He's determined. He's whizzing that around. Technically, you got the drop on him. He's 15 feet away.
I'm gonna close the distance and take a swing.
Step right up to him, towering over this small canine Chihuahua-ish kobold.
13. 13 to hit.
That'll do.
Okay. And 8 damage.
You swing it around and literally hook into this thing's back with your axe. Lift it up off the ground just in front of your eyes as you watch its spark drain as the spike is protruding all the way through its like torso. The gentle swish, it slides from the blade, squishily splats to the ground. Anything else?
Now I'm gonna turn around and kind of put my axe on the ground and just lean back and watch.
Okay. Full cycle, that brings it to the gunman. He aims down and shoots and manages to wing this one, wounding it and dropping it to the ground, but it still seems to be squirming. It might not be dead. Might be dead soon, but at this point it's not quite dead. And that brings us back to Vera's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot at one of the two that's still on the blue guy.
Cool.
A 19
Definitely hits.
and making up for last time, 6 points of damage.
Nice. Again, headshot on the thing. These things are being real obliging by jumping literally in front of your arrows as they fly in. This one slides in through its ear and out the other one with a gentle of pink mist.
And I'm going to use my bonus action.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Healing Word on the guard that's down.
25 feet.
It's a range of 60.
Nice. Okay.
So he is healed for 8 points of damage.
Nice. He's back up. That almost fills him clear full. He uncoils himself from the ground and takes a deep breath, looks down at himself briefly, and then a look. You don't see it as much as you probably would have liked to, but this look of, oh, you done fucked up, comes over his face as he looks past the kobold in front of him and sees his captain. They're flanking this thing, and he gets a big grin on his face and flings his own long sword around and lops the head clean off the thing. Just twink, and the head rolls across.
My other one that was still standing up, has it fallen down now?
He's on his knees and holding on to the crossbow bolt, and just the one way over here finally is fallen down. Yes, but
That's the one I meant.
Okay, yeah, but this one he's clinging to his last hit point, but the threat's pretty well negligible. Okay, and this guard here, he's in such bad shape. He's in pure defense mode. He's just blocking and defending. Fenrir, roll me a perception check.
11.
Okay. As you're leaning on your axe, watching, your right leg explodes in pain. You take 2 points of damage, and you look down and you see a kobold biting your calf muscle. His mouth wrapped around your big, like basically just above your Achilles heel, as two other ones dive out of the woods also, grabbing you but doing no damage.
I am officially bloodied.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and it's my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and swing down and like attack the one that is biting me.
Okay.
And I'm literally just gonna like swing down, like punch him as hard as I can in the face.
Sure.
Since I was leaning on my axe.
Yeah, knuckle duster with the axe if you want. That's cool.
Let me see what damage should I roll for that?
Well, roll me a d20 and see if you hit.
Oh, that's right. 17.
That'll do.
Okay.
You cleave down. You're like choked up on your axe, so the blade is almost just in front of your hand, and just knuckle duster this thing while holding onto the axe itself.
All right.
And it just shaves the thing off your leg. Just whoosh. You hit with enough damage, you just basically bifurcate this poor thing, and its innards are kind of spewed around you now. The other two are still latched onto you, though. Do you want to move at all? Do you have anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I'll.
Wherever you go, they're going. So it's not like they're going to get an opportunity attack if you move away from them, because you're not going to get away from them.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and just stay where I'm at.
Cool.
But at this point, though, I'm starting to get pissed off, and I'm going to rage.
Okay. So as your bonus action, you choose to rage.
Yes.
Does this manifest itself any way special? Do you yell? Do you?
Um,
Does it have a graphic?
it's it's kind of, let me see. It would be kind of like you explained when I was flexing, but kind of more of a dramatic effect, kind of just that like just super like stress and tension where just veins everywhere start to protrude and pulse
Do
and
do you turn beet red? Do
yeah,
you?
I do. I get like a not kind of like a rosacea where you start to get that like real flushed.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured you could always choose to inflate 3 sizes and turn green, but
Yeah.
um, kind of been done. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we're
um,
not quite hulking it.
do you yell? Is there a grunt involved here?
Yeah, no like real loud yell, more of yeah, just
Okay.
kind of like
Okay.
that
The
absolute frustration and anger. Yeah,
the suppressed rage that can't be
exactly.
suppressed.
Exactly.
It's always there. You just let it out.
Exactly. And that'll be the end of my turn.
I'm gonna make the kobolds that are grappling make for another. You actually pop one of them off. Your leg muscle kind of swells up, and his handhold just seems to fail, and he drops away from your leg, jumps up startled, like, "What the hell was that?" The other one's holding onto the back of your leg. He's holding your ass. He's got your shorts.
Ooh, all right.
He's dug in like a tick.
We'll see how long that lasts.
One good two. Oh, and we're back to there.
I'm going to use my bonus action and grant Bardic Inspiration to Fenrir,
Okay. Is there a range on Bardic Inspiration?
60 feet.
Okay. I'll say you're within that. That'll work.
So you get a D6, Fenrir, to add.
To any
Okay.
D20 roll, pretty
Okay.
much. Correct? Am I remembering that right? I
Like
think it's
Any
saves and stuff.
D20 roll they make, yeah.
any
Oh, cool.
D20. Perfect.
All right.
The creature can wait until after it rolls the D20 before deciding to use the Bardic Inspiration die, but must decide before the GM says whether the roll succeeds or fails.
Okay. Cool.
And um, I'm going to go ahead and shoot at the last one next to that blue.
Cool. Go ahead and take your shot.
Does a 14 hit?
Yes, it does.
And 7 points.
And that one too, shot clean through the chest. Are you pretty sure you hit the heart? Because it drops just a sack of potatoes. As he falls, the guard that was the blue guard there slumps to one knee, breathing heavy, holding onto a rather nasty wound in his chest that is perpetually bleeding. He's hurting. Um, you've heard of wounds like this. They don't like to close up. Uh,
Um, ah,
Technically, I've still got a kobold on me, right?
you do one on
Yeah.
you and one near you.
Yeah.
or I'm going to use, no, I already used my bonus action for, never mind.
Arctic. Okay. You got movement left.
Right. I'm going to head over to oh wait, let me read. I'm gonna head over to the blue guard.
Okay. You can get right up to him with 5 to spare. In your kit of traveling gear, you have magical compresses, in that a sucking wound like this goes over it, heals 1 point of damage, and basically diptych seals it. It clots up the wound, makes the perpetual bleed stop.
I'm gonna go ahead and take back my movement though.
Okay.
Okay, I just have to wait for my next turn now.
Okay. So that guard's down on a knee. The rifleman lifts his weapon up and trains it across the road. The shot cracks out. Hey, Fenrir, do me a favor and roll a dexterity saving throw.
That would be a 8. Nope, sorry, that would be a 10.
Oh, okay. You take 2 points of damage as the guy on top of the train accidentally shoots you in the leg. He's trying to shoot the kobold off you, but
do I get resistance to that damage since I'm raging?
That is resisted. It would have been 4.
Okay. All right, cool.
So yeah.
I was literally just thinking to myself too, I hope this motherfucker doesn't shoot me.
Do you know the best intentions? What can you do? Yeah, it's a nice through and through. At least it's more than a graze, but you get a hole in, a hole out, which traditionally is about the best way you can get shot. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Perfect.
And those guards, captain comes over to this one, makes sure you sure you're okay? But after that healing spell, he's doing really decent actually. The kobold here, he finally slumps over flat on his face, dead. There, roll me a perception check. It cut out.
18.
18. You notice underneath the center train car, there's at least one more kobold hiding under there. I'm gonna put him there, but he's under.
I'm gonna call. Okay. I'm gonna cast Healing Word on the blue guard.
Okay.
He gets back 7 hit points.
Okay. He's out of bloodied and feeling pretty okay.
I'm going to call out that there's a kobold under the middle car.
Sure, free action. It's all yours.
I'm gonna move my 30 towards Fenrir.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because he's not really right here. He's off the map somewhere.
Okay.
For the purposes of it, we'll say that you get you're still 20 feet away from him because he's over at the edge of the woods where the slingers were, and you made it back to the road at this point.
Okay.
Anything else? Okie dokie. Fenrir, you've got a kobold holding onto your ass, and one laying. Well, he jumped back up off the ground. He got up, but he's still just kind of standing there. Neither of them have weapons, but they're burying their little claws and their teeth at you, and they've proven they're more than happy to bite.
So I would like to try to. I'm gonna grab this one that's on my ass. I'm gonna rip him off, and I am just gonna smash him into the one that's in front of me.
Okay.
You basically use him as a weapon against the other one.
Yep, we'll go improv weapon, so you have disadvantage on this, but I love where you're going. Go for the grapple first of all. Do you grab the first one by the back of the head like you wanted?
Is that a disadvantage?
No.
No, that's not
No,
a disadvantage.
that's just a grapple.
Okay, so I'm rolling. So I'm rolling grapple, and then I'm rolling attack.
There you go.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we're gonna
well, for the grapple, a nat 20.
Okay, so you grab him and your hand sinks into the fur on the back of his head. You've got a grip. He'd never get loose. Not unless you're ready to. So
Okay.
now you've got a hold of this sucker. And basically, instead of having a movement, you're going to spend your body mechanics of moving to basically flail this thing at his buddy.
Okay.
So you'll sacrifice your movement for this round, but you get this follow through attack.
Oh, and that's a disadvantage, right?
That's the disadvantage. Yep.
Okay, so that would be that'd be I'm going to use my inspiration as well on this one.
Okay.
13.
13 will just do it. You bring him around, and the one on the ground in front of you looked like he's getting ready to lunge at you, and then the expression on his face changes to panic as his eyes bulge as he sees his buddy coming at him, and over his shoulder is just this hulking form of pure fury. The look on your face, the redness, the bulging veins, and the last thing he sees is his own buddy's face smashed into his own. As you basically accordion stack these guys, you're pushing the one you're holding so fast, his body's up, straight up in the air behind your fist. But you bring him right down on top, and they just, like when you collapse a telescope and it gets really short after it's not really short. Well, they do this. But it's accompanied by the popping of every joint and half the bones in their bodies. You feel the skull of the one in front of you pulverize as your fist buries through the back of his skull. You try to let go, and you actually have to shake him off because it's actually encased your hand so deeply. You stand up, you look down at your hand, and a smile crosses your face.
And now that the threat, or at least my perceived threat, is gone, there's no more enemies, that I'm going to go ahead and I'll exit my rage.
Good luck.
Oh, does that not work that way?
Well, dropping rage can be done, usually. But you've noticed ever since the fight with your dad, every time you've popped into a rage, because you raged then too, and kind of blacked out a little bit. And unfortunately, it seems like that's happening now.
Okay. All right.
You've overclocked to the point where you've let your rage loose, and you don't see a path back.
Okay.
That doesn't mean it's impossible, but from your viewpoint right now, with the rolls that got rolled, you feel stuck.
Okay.
But you also feel a sense of glee glowing through you. This feels good. This much raw oh my god, what you could do with this, it's addicting. And maybe that's part of why it's a problem. Maybe that's why you're stuck. Maybe you want to be here more than you want to not. Something to explore as your character unwinds.
I'm gonna pull out my lyre and just start strumming a little kind of happy, uplifting tune.
Okay. So you're standing there playing your musical instrument. Bonus action to pull it out to use it. So, yeah, you're standing in the road conducting a concert.
I'm trying to calm Fenrir down.
Are you sure he wants to calm down?
Now.
What inspires you to think that he wants to calm down?
But he's still looking really angry.
Mhm.
And I don't want him to attack me.
Okay. So that pretty much takes up your action. Let's see what the guards over at the train do real quick.
Them about the one underneath.
What?
I said I did warn them about the one underneath.
You did.
Right.
The blue one that you healed up, he works his way over there and kneels down, and you see him like reach in under the train. Looks like he's trying to grab at or maybe drag out. The other two are still making sure they're still alive. The captain it looks like the captain freaked out a little bit when his trooper went down, and he's not convinced that he's okay. The gunman stands up on the roof, generally pointing his rifle in your direction, but doesn't seem to be trying to take any shots, not seeing a viable target anywhere. Fenrir, I need you to roll me an intelligence saving throw with disadvantage.
13.
You hear a music, a tune, a ditty, not too far away, and your head turns. There, what you see when his face turns towards you is maniacal glee almost. At least that's what it reads as. He's pissed and he loves it. And here he comes, straight for you. Fenrir, still technically your turn.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm heading towards Bear.
Can I roll a performance? I mean,
Go for it. I'm just saying, here he comes.
modified 20.
Okay.
So I'm playing very well.
He gets about 10 feet away from you. And Fenrir, your feet stop, almost of their own accord. You're still raging. This music, it's luring. It's drawn you this way. It's pulled you in. But then somehow it actually makes you stop. Just even for just that heartbeat feels unbelievable. Feels like, whoa. A glimpse at something other than pure rage for even just a microsecond. It's a flicker of light in the darkness that your rage is consuming you with. And you miss a beat, you stop. You're about 10 feet away. So let's go ahead and just put you over at the edge here and say you're basically up on the road. Your hand still wrenching the handle of your axe so hard. Your knuckles are white. You hear them pop every once in a while, and that feels good too. Oh, just what do you want to do? If anything, you've got a moment's hesitation. What do you want to do with it?
The rage takes back over, and I bring my axe up, and I like go to like lunge towards.
Okay. So he lifts his axe up and poised, is coiled to strike. But because of game mechanics, he pauses there dramatically.
I dodge out of the way, still playing.
Right. Go ahead and make me opposing. Fenrir, make an attack roll, and Bear, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
That's an 8 for my attack roll.
Okay.
18 for my dexterity.
You step aside like he's moving in slow motion. You kind of do that step, you just step aside and he lunges forward. So there. And it cuts through the air where you were just gorgeously. And he pulls back, and you can hear in his chest a deep growl type rumble seems to build from inside of him. It's almost steadily sustained. It seems primal.
Um,
It is Var's turn. So
I'm going to continue playing, and now I'm going to add singing. Some strange little words about Fenrir, calm down, come, come back to Earth. I want to
Go
say
ahead.
the sun is rising, but not.
Go,
Um,
go ahead and roll me a performance check then. Fenrir, I need a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage. When you say stats like that, hun, I can hear you from the living room. It doesn't seem to pick up on the mic at all.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
17.
yeah, cool. Got it.
13 for wisdom.
Okay. She comes up with this limerick just off the cuff. It's catchy. You feel your foot almost starting to tap along to the tune as you stand, still raging, lifting your axe up, looking for more blood. Your foot involuntarily starts to tap, and the words start coming through, and they sound familiar. They sound personable. They sound like you. She talking? Could she be singing about you? Who'd ever? That's so bizarre. But it starts tickling the back of your brain. This gives you advantage on your next saving throw, by the way. So keep that handy.
Right.
Specifically your next save versus your rage.
Okay.
Behind so Penranger, the guard, manages to get a hold of the kobold down below and yank him out from underneath. Well, as he does, pulls that one loose, and 4 more of them pour out from all around him. And just, pardon the term, dogpile his butt. 2 of them pin him to the ground, and the other ones come in. They've got like short knives in their hands, and they're going to try stabbing him. So, first grapple, second grapple. Both grapples work. So he's pinned to the ground by 2 of them, and the other 3 are going to attack. Yeah, they ambush him and he doesn't survive it. All 3, because he's prone and they have pack tactics, they all got advantage on their rolls, and one of them rolled a nat 20 with his knife. They dive in and just impale this poor guard. He doesn't even have time to scream. He's toast. Short of revival magic, he's screwed.
Do you hear the dogs?
Yes, as they come out, they yip and snarl as they pour forth to try to intimidate and slay that sucker. You hear a gunshot go off as they come out, but his shot misses in the haste of trying to take a target quick. He straight misses his target. The other 2 give a little stagger, but they can't get there before the end of their turn. They're going to go ahead and dash and get in there, but they're out of stuff to do. That brings us back to Fenrir. I need, what did I say, an intelligence saving throw earlier?
It really doesn't make it. They're the same stat form either way. So
okay. With advantage.
okay.
Good, huh?
That would be 5.
Okay. Yeah, cute song, but somebody needs to die. Somebody really needs to die. I mean, that smashing kobold thing was a nice appetizer, but what else is there? Where's the buffet? Bring it on.
Did we notice the action or the scuffling going on over there with the kobolds?
She did. You kind of got tunnel vision.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check. See how much you did see.
Well, that's actually pretty good. That'd be a dirty 20.
Okay, so yeah, it got your attention. So Roll me a 6-sided. Tell me what it says. Odds, you stay up here and you play with there. Evens, you decide that the kobolds look like they're more fun.
Looks like I'm sticking with Bear.
Okay. He glances away briefly, but his head turns back. You pretty much only got one good action in your arsenal at this point, right?
Yeah.
Must chop.
Swinging the axe. Yep.
Okay.
I
Straight
dodge
up attack
again.
roll. Yep.
See here, that would be 15.
What's your armor class, Bear?
14.
Yeah, it clips you. Even with the attempt to dodge and all that kind of fun stuff, he clips you.
For how much?
Oh, that is
With the dodge, I'm going to give you half damage. So
yeah, I'm gonna fuck up some shit real quick. That'd be 11 damage.
11, so rounded down to 5.
I'd be dead if you didn't have it.
Yeah.
As it is, I'm bloodied.
Yeah, you rolled with it, but that sucked. What it does do, because it's a big old wieldy two-hander, you end up 10 feet back. You're cut, you're bleeding, but there's a little space between you.
And
And you do have your movement left.
I mean, yeah, naturally I would move towards her.
He follows the attack in. On your move there, when it is time to move, I will let you say that if you continued to take the momentum, he could be following you and you could be backpedaling, basically kiting him a little bit by taking advantage of that pushback. It's hard to do mechanics wise on the map because we take turns, but
right.
If that makes sense.
Okay. Can I dodge like under his arm and run towards the kobolds instead?
Sure. That would be your action. It'd be a full action dodge at that point.
Okay.
Okay. And that would be there. And you said you were moving towards her, so she does that. You'd spend your other 5, 10, 15, 20 trying to follow her, I presume, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Exactly.
Sweet. I think that brings it back to the rifleman's turn. Takes a shot on one of the kobolds. Oh, nice. Nat 20. Shoots him and knocks him down for dead. The other 2 guards step in, teaming up. They both hit and slay this kobold in one swell swoop. Time to roll a morale check. Oh, they're still holding in there. Okay. Snapping and snarling, the kobolds push through and over the dead guard and swarm. Not the captain, the non-captain. Other. First one hits. Second one hits. Third one misses. So it's 2. 4 damage. 6 points damage. Ooh. The 3 pile up in on this guard here, and he's looking a little ragged. He's bleeding pretty good. Those knives they're taking bites. But seems like you're down to 3 and you don't hear any others nearby. At least currently you don't hear any others nearby. There, I think we're back to you.
I'm so torn. If I use my hand crossbow, am I basically at point blank range?
No. You're here. You're shooting here. That's 10 feet away.
But it's less than 30.
No, that's not a point blank thing. That's a short range. If you go over 30, you shoot at disadvantage, but you can stretch it clear out to 120 at disadvantage.
Okay.
That 30 is just your standard range with it. There's no penalty for being closer than that unless you're within 5 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it.
Cool.
Closest one. 15.
Okay, 15 will do it. Throw me some damage on that bad boy.
With 7 points.
It'll do it. That one dies outright and shot wings through under his armpit. Hit something vital because he screamed out and collapsed relatively quickly.
Wasn't.
Yeah. Only other question is, are you going anywhere? Are you moving?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep moving 30 to the right.
Just hop over this way.
Yep.
Okay. As you strafe your way around. Cool. The rifleman goes after. Trying to take a shot, but it's a disadvantage because of cover, so that misses. The guards are going to take swings. Nice. They cut down this kobold with their long swords. Leaves one standing. Gonna try, and he fails his morale check. He turns and tries to dash away. The one guard gets a shot of opportunity. Coughs. That's a miss, but he's heading right for you, Ver. He's about 10 feet away. Yeah, he'd use his whole movement, so 30, 25. There we go. So it looks like he's making a run for it. Fenrir. Oh, go ahead.
well, is it my turn again?
It is still your turn, but you've basically moved everything. I think you've used everything except for your bonus action.
Never mind.
Okay. So Fenrir.
See, 5, 10. Let me see here. Oh. I'm gonna continue after Bear.
Are you still trying? Are you trying to break rage every round? Are you putting effort into it, or are you enjoying it too much still? Feel free to ask one of your die if you want.
No, I'm trying to break rage.
Okay. Go ahead and give me int with saving throw.
Uh, 13 on that one.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll me a d6.
2.
You get distracted by the commotion in front of you as Ver moves to the right, and you're compelled to dive straight in up to this dead kobold on the ground. Roll me an attack roll with advantage.
Dirty 20.
Okay, you come in and resoundingly chop the thing in half. It's dead on the ground, face down. You bury your axe in its back, splitting it in half like a melon. Glee covering your face, a blood spattered smile. Your body is just speckled at this point. Some of it's your own blood, but for the most part, it's cast off because as you pull the axe back, an arc of blood sprays up across the side of the train. CSI, just beautiful moment. And you're loving every minute of it. Anything else?
Nope. That'll be it.
Cool. Yeah, it brings us back around to Vera's turn.
I'm gonna shoot at the one that's trying to flee.
Okay. You get an advantage because he's fleeing.
Oh, good. So with advantage, that's a modified 20.
Okay. Are you making any effort to not kill it?
Nope.
Cool.
That is 9 points of damage.
Okay. Kills him outright. You hit him in the femoral artery. You shot him in the sciatic, and it just the bolt clears through his hip, and all of a sudden this gout of blood pops. He takes 2 more steps, and then he gets lightheaded and drops to the ground. Thud. And the neighborhood grows quiet. The loudest noise you hear is your own breathing. Well, maybe it's more than that, because you look over, and Fenrir is still standing there. You hear that deep rumble in his chest still. He's still cranked up to 11.
Okay. We discussed before Bardic Inspiration being a group.
Yeah, yep. Bardic Inspiration is for you and your party members. In this case, you probably could have extended it to level 1, maybe not. But eventually you'll be able to add, like, maybe you could have added the guards in, so they had it too. But
Okay. So I'm going to play my music, still trying to calm him down again.
okay.
And along with it, use my Bardic Inspiration heal.
Okay.
So we will both with point of hit points.
1 point.
5.
Oh, 5.
5.
Okay.
As you heal, I want you to make me another, let's just call it a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
That'd be a 17. 17.
Okay. For the first time in the better part of a minute now, you realize this might be a bit much. You take a deep breath, and then another, and you blink a couple times, and you can feel that blood rush flowing. You feel your pulse relaxing. Feel your chest opening up as you inhale. Take a couple deep breaths. Captain looks over at you and goes, "You in there, big guy?"
Yeah.
He stands about 5'9", so he's still looking up at you. But you can tell that if it came down to it, he was willing to stand toe to toe with you. But he looks at you and nods.
And at that, I turn around and start walking back to the road.
Okay. Any particular mannerism as you head? Are you looking defeated? Are you
No, it's
embarrassed?
It's one. No, it's just one of those kind of just stone face. No, I'm not showing any emotion. It's just axe up on the shoulder, turn around and walk away.
Gotcha.
I walk over to the fallen guard.
Yeah.
And kind of give a little sob and look at the 2 remaining guards and say, I'm sorry that I couldn't save him.
The captain looks at you and goes, "Ma'am, to be honest," and he glances around at the carnage. If it wasn't for the 2 of you, it'd be us laying on the ground, and they'd be taking this train God knows where and God knows how.
I turn around and look back at the kid.
Doesn't seem to be in the window anymore.
Okay.
That's good.
I turn back to the captain.
He gives you a quizzical glance. I I've never heard of an attack like this. He's visibly shaking. Usually we deal with an occasional cockatrice or goblin or two. It's fairly tame around these towns. They're close enough together. This is, and you see him starting to hyperventilate, starting to freak out a little bit.
I look at him, just not quite blank face, but just very matter of fact, and say, "Do you have a way to move the tree?"
Are you still playing?
Yes.
Give me a performance check.
How big is the tree?
It's girthy. It's
Girth,
as
okay.
big around as you.
Okay.
Your sound didn't come through at all.
16.
I'm still not getting
Still
it.
nothing.
I got about half of each word.
Okay, so stop talking. Okay, 16.
16. Got it. Okay. He takes a couple small deep breaths and looks down at his hands and sees that they're shaking and slowly gets himself together. Yeah, we can get that. It's going to take time. Would you be willing to help at least keep an eye out and make sure?
I wish I could, but we have to make it to town before dark.
Yeah, and despite this, he glances over at Fenrir. He goes, I don't know that we could give you a lift. I mean, I really appreciate what you did, but and again glances over at Fenrir like,
I couldn't accept the ride at this time if you did, so I thank you very much, but we'll be on our way.
well, again, thanks for what you did. And yeah, he glances.
Run to catch up to Fenrir.
Okay. Did you stop at the road, Fenrir, or did you turn and start heading off to destination?
I walked probably, well, I don't know, that conversation didn't take too long. I'm just walking down the road. My anticipation was I was gonna stop about 100 feet down the road and like lean against a tree and just wait for her, but
Gotcha.
she probably caught up before then. So
as you guys are wandering away, you hear the captain issue a few orders real quick to the couple remainder. The guy on Overwatch with the rifle is staying on patrol, keeping an eye out. The other guard is helping basically wrap up his buddy's corpse. The other guard, you see they're visibly moved. They're somber, but they're going to take the body with for proper burial. And the kobolds, they don't pay any attention to them. The weapons were garbage, and frankly, if they're attacking something like this in broad daylight, they're obviously in worse shape than any of you guys are as far as coin or equipment. It's just, yeah. The train moves forward a little bit as you guys wander away, and you see slow mechanical jacks issue forth and start wedging and pushing and lifting and cantilevering with these long protruding arms, clearing the track. The train's designed to do this. It takes time, and the kobolds were counting on it.
I
But,
use prestidigitation to clean our garments while we're walking.
okay.
I should say to clean us while we're walking.
You start with yourself. You turn to Fenrir after you've completed. You give him a glance. Fenrir?
I'll take a clean. I'll just kind of look and shrug my shoulders.
Okay. In relative quiet, you guys travel forward. The grime scoured away through magic.
I just keep quietly just playing a calming song on my lute or
Okay.
on my lyre.
Every once in a while, you chime in with a little humming.
Change it up here and
I-
there so that I don't get bored.
And I was gonna say, I will say, like, I'll just kind of, as I notice she's playing, I'll just kind of quietly mention, if that's for me, it doesn't make a difference.
Nope, I'm just bored.
Okay. And that's it.
So you guys carry on for the rest of the afternoon. A little sore, a little achy. Fenrir, you're still down a few hit points, but hey, it's nothing that a long day's nothing that you're not used to after a hard day's work.
Right.
But it's all good. In the distance, you see some low hills rising, stony, dark. Even with the afternoon sun bathing them in light, the stone itself is a dark, deep color. From quite a distance away, you notice the first signs of the city peeking through the trees. It's tucked right up against these dark hills. Its walls, deep stone, almost a russet red color, as if it was made from bricks, but there's no seams, there's no mortar. Seems to almost have been cast as one object. The gates, the trains run right up to it. But those gates aren't open yet, for the train's not close enough. They're still clearing the tracks. I said, it's a slow process. As you come closer to the gates, pick up a familiar smell, Fenrir. One of hot steel, bubbling copper, burning coal. A few smokestacks line one corner of the district. The bellows, almost like a breath, breathing in and out in this city, can be heard from well outside the walls. Whoosh, whoosh, massive, huge buildings of bellows pumping air all through the city. Various houses are plugged into this pumped air, but most specifically are the smelters that dominate the one corner of this zone. Six and a good sized smokestacks, all clustered together tight, are a communal exhaust for these smelters, where they take the ore mined out of these hills and basically turn it into a marketable, transportable good. Welcome to Rogarn, Rogarn. This town is predominantly known for its mining community. It's heavily dwarven populated, somewhere in about 2,000 or so. It fluctuates depending on trade and season, but for the most part, they've got a steady population. A dwarven town nestled up against a hillside where many mine tunnels pockmark the stone. A light grunge covers anything that doesn't move. Just the castings and the tailings and the soot and the dust from between the smokestacks and the mines themselves. Unlike your previous town where things are tidy even in the slums, this place is grungy even in the bureaucratic offices, even in just it's everywhere. You can't get away from this stuff. You almost stand out a little bit because you're clean. Ver prestidigitated you guys clean on the road, so you guys are coming into town pretty spick and span what you're used to. You come
Better
up to
than
the
being
gates.
bloody.
One more time.
Better than being bloody.
Right. you come up to the gates, one of the guards narrowly glances at you, raises an eyebrow, but just waves you in. Doesn't seem like they're here to keep people out.
Wave
You
back
walk
and
in.
go through the gate.
Well, Fenrir,
I will follow it along.
you made it out of town.
I did.
You've achieved a micro goal, as it were. What do you want to do with that? Now what? What's your play? You got a delivery to make, but that's easy enough dealt with.
Um, time to. I don't know. I gotta make more money. I gotta find some more money. So I'm gonna check the boards in town and see if there's
Okay.
anything available.
You look at Fenrir. I can find somewhere for us to stay tonight.
Are you are you are you trying to say that you want to continue going around together?
You're interested?
If I can make more money, then that's all right, I guess.
Don't have a reason to go home yet, so
I don't typically hang around with people. So, I mean, if you can be okay with that.
fine. I'll probably spend my days out busking in the street anyway.
Okay.
The guys bring these packages to the intended destination, which is to the mine liaison. He's basically like an overseer, bureaucratic foreman for the mines. These mines are all conglomerated into one big coalition. Basically, it's one industry, even though it's run by multiple people, they they got one goal in mind: efficiency and safety. That's all they're in for. They're going to make as much money as they can. They're dwarves. They like their money. Um, this town's really famous for these mines because there's so many different diverse ores available in one location. Something about this piece of stone has got rich veins of assorted minerals in it, and they take advantage of it. But you come up to this liaison shack, and the door's open. It's a warm day. Inside, sitting behind a desk, is a venerable old dwarf. His hair's gone completely white. His beard, most of the way to his knees if he was standing up. Currently, it's pooled up in his lap at his desk. He glances up from the paperwork he's shuffling through. He goes, "If you got business, get to it. Otherwise, get out."
I'll hand over the backpacks.
He checks the seal on them, makes sure that it hasn't been opened, inspects both of them. Goes, "You got here rather quickly. Did you come via train or something? How'd you get here so quick? I just put in the order this morning."
We took off as soon as you put the order in and walked here.
"You got the order 3 days ago." Just
That's
to
okay.
remind you.
That's still what I'm saying.
Cool. Just reminding you.
Okay.
Tell you what, and he reaches down behind, pulls out a small lockbox, sets it up on the counter. And he opens it up and he pulls out 2 more gold pieces. And he holds them out to you like an uncle holding 2 quarters. That's, you know, "Here you go. Here's your ice cream money." A little patronizingly. Um, but yeah,
It's okay. I'll take them and hand one to Fenrir.
cool.
And we leave.
As you leave, you hear him grumbling under his breath as the creaking of a chair as he sits back down into it.
I just ignore him and go find one of the nicer looking taverns.
Okay. Um,
Maybe
you've
something that has an inn attached.
you've both been to this town before. Fenrir, you've been here. Your smithing uh, instructor guy has sent you here on a couple different occasions to get stuff from specific minerals and whatnot. And there, you've come here on other errand missions like you just did. So you're a little familiar with the area.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first thing, like I said, to the well. No, you're looking for a room, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just tag along behind her for
You
now.
weave your way through the streets. You head over to where the taverns are, the housing district, the yeah, cool. Brain part. Cool. Okay. And the first two you stop by, neither of you are impressed. I mean, you could drink here. One of them almost reminds me an awful lot of Fenrir's dad's bar, little divey, little skeezy. So,
Give a
and
little shudder and walk on to the next one.
but the third one you come to, as you get there, you see another bard storming out, stomping down the stairs, stop at the bottom, turn in a shrill voice, scream back that you unfair hag, you wouldn't know talent if it bit you in the ass. And he turns and storms past you, shoulder bumping you on the way by. Just, I mean, there's all the room in the world to miss you, but he doesn't. Storms off down the street. This moment, a matronly woman, very corpulent, she's probably a good 450 pounds of human, waddles out of the door, shaking her head. I knew that boy was going to be trouble the minute I hired him. And her glance catches your generalness standing there. She raises an eyebrow. Missy, that there be an instrument strapped across your backside?
It sure is. Would you be in need of a bard?
I would be in need of some sort of entertainment around this place because we don't keep these folk in line. Ooh-wee.
Well, I'd be happy to play here in the evenings if in exchange for a room for my friend and I. And
She slowly turns her wrist out to you, her left one specifically, and on her inner wrist is a small blue tattoo that you recognize immediately. It's a brothership of the bards. You're familiar. Um, you're not pledged one way or the other, but you're talking her language and she's talking back without really even saying anything. She goes, "Oh, Cherie, yeah, I'd give you the nicest room in the place if you keep them calm. I'd be much obliged. These dwarves, they get a rowdy in such a way that, oh, the damages. It's worth my nice room."
is me walking in the streets on the day acceptable to you? You don't require my entire time, do you?
I from sundown for 3 hours during the main drinking times when everybody's in here getting rowdy would be perfect.
Does that include meal?
Oh, I could look well, laddie, how much do you eat? You a big boy. Coming from this woman, the term big boy seems a little cute, but
And I'm just probably not as much as you do, but
I don't think that came through the microphone. She turns, she raises an eyebrow at you
I smack him.
and gives you a look that I think you need to make me a Constitution saving throw to see if it does damage.
In all seriousness,
All seriousness, roll me a
Oh my
Constitution
God.
saving throw.
Let's see here. 17.
For a brief moment, you almost feel intimidated. Roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Let's see here. That'd be a 9.
And you can't help yourself. You chuckle. It sneaks out. This woman glares at you and smacks you, and it squeaks out. You chuckle.
I say, ma'am, the meal would be for me, not for him.
She turns, storms somewhat back into the gate, into the tavern. But as she steps through, she kind of waves, "Come on." Steps inside.
Follow.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Still kind of chuckling at myself.
You come inside to maybe the cleanest spot you've seen in this town. Its surfaces look like they've been wiped down. Sure, the floor is a little dingy. Sure, the stools have nicks and dents, and some of them look like they've been, mended literally back together more than once. Sometimes they don't get all the parts, so there's like chips and nicks and stuff. It gives it character, but it's sturdy. There's a dozen tables in here. A low bar, literally low. It's shorter. You can tell it's built for dwarves. It's short. And a set of stairs in the back that lead upstairs to a kind of like a saloon type railing across with multiple doors that look like maybe they're rooms for rent.
Can we take a brief pause and do a potty break? I got pee.
Yeah. That's great.
I've been holding it for a while and now it's starting to hurt. So
Get a grip.
oh, trust me, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, right. I don't even remember what he asked about. So, yeah.
All right, I'm back.
So, did rage mechanics work out okay in your head?
Yeah, yeah, I think that was pretty good.
I figured I'd kind of run it similar to basically like you're being mind controlled, but it's your own damn mind.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, hence the saving throw opportunities and whatnot.
Yeah, and then it was pretty good. Yeah, I was
Cool.
gonna say like have like numbers assigned, but yeah, the way we just kind of randomize whether I pay attention to one or the other or whatever. But yeah,
Sweet.
not too bad.
I liked the You saw a corpse and just decided you're going to hit that now.
Yeah,
You know,
that was good.
bring it on. Yeah, I kind of went with rationale doesn't really hold a whole lot. Just it's action, reaction, thought, whatever. Never heard
Yeah,
of thought.
exactly.
Thinking's for other people. It's overrated.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm right in the middle on intelligence and wisdom. So
Bless you.
Thank you.
So yeah, we should see if we can figure out some way to go between your character's dark, broody, and doesn't talk, but Mike needs to somehow, so he's actually part of the game.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure. That's why I'm trying to get witty comments in it.
Yeah, we're all working on it.
And so I guess in in the case of like it's a bigger fight or something, and let's say Andrea's character is next to me, and then there's a group of like 5 or 4 or whatever next to me, and I don't end up targeting her. I'll just target a random whatever's closest to me, basically.
And that target can randomly change periodically just because. And
exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I think that'll work pretty well.
Kind of a lay waste to anything and everything because you like it.
Exactly.
The only thing, all too much.
I was gonna say, the only thing is, maybe we'll have to figure out some sort of mechanic for. I mean, I don't know, because it could, if I roll really bad for 7 times in a row, we're gonna have a really fucking bad.
Yeah.
I just don't want to take it to the point where it's like, okay, it's tedious now. Let's
have faith that I can DM out of that wet paper bag.
And I figured, okay, as time goes, maybe the challenge rating gets easier or whatever.
Well, or like in this case, when you healed, that gave you a bonus chance because it took some of the fuel away. It damped the fire a little bit by taking.
Yeah, good.
I can always find a why. We can hunt a why.
I like that. So
yeah, and feel free to throw in your own why. If you've got a why, throw it in there. Okay. I'm going to take another save because I see a butterfly. Okay, cool. Just sell me on it.
Okay.
Don't abuse it, but sell me on it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I see a pair of nice tits and it distracts me from my rage. I don't care. Something.
I can get behind that.
There is something disarming about a good set of tits. Just saying.
Right. That's why I always told Joe, if I ever start getting angry, just come up and kiss me or something, just something, and it'll snap me out of it.
Here's the catch-22 though. You can become addictive by being an asshole just so you'll sit on her lap. She'll sit on your lap topless. So as long as you don't become more of an asshole to fish for it, then that works. It's a beautiful theory. I've seen it backfire. Just saying. And of course, Joe's in the room, so she heard all of that. So the secret's out now. It's
the plans revealed. Yep. Oh, damn it.
Hey, nabbit.
Okay.
All right.
We follow her inside.
She gives you a quick quote tour. She points in the corner where there's a small raised stage. There's a stool and an instrument like for holding a guitar, but it's empty, sitting up on stage. She goes, yeah, right up there. And she turns and looks at Fenrir. I think you could make yourself available for knocking some heads together if they get out of control. Bouncer, basically.
That sounds about my style.
I guess I could probably find you a crust of bread or something to feed you.
I'd rather
Fine.
work at the Smith, but
Oh,
that's my
do you,
specialty.
do you know anything about smelting ore?
Uh, Basic. And I mean, back at home, that's kind of what we did, but more just iron.
Well, and most of what you were doing was hammering out product. What they're doing
Yeah.
basically is raw metal into bars or ingots or rod stock, etc. That you would come here to get the material to turn into nails
Okay.
type thing.
You show me how to do it there. Somebody shows me how to do it though. I'll pick it up quick.
Well, if you don't want to knock heads around here, I can always send you to talk to Cade. He would, let me double check that. Nope. Send you to talk to Otto.
Well, you only need me for a few hours in the evening, like her.
True.
I can work the days and work a few hours here in the night.
Let's see if Otto's got an opening. Just tell him Princess sent you. He'll know. Everybody knows me.
All right. I'll head that way then.
I'm gonna climb up on the stage and play a song or two just to get a feel for the, vibrations of the room and
The acoustics.
the acoustics.
Yeah. Nothing to write home about. It's a big wooden box. You don't get a whole lot of reverb or anything. There's no echo somehow, which is a blessing. But you also notice that even when you're playing quietly, the people in the far end of the room listen. The sound travels okay. There's only like 3 people in here right now, but they're spread out enough. But everybody seems to notice that you're up there.
Okay. So I'm satisfied with that. So I will leave for a little while with Finmer.
Okay. It's relatively easy to find your way because you've been to the smelters before. As you get to this vast warehouse-sized building situated just below the smokestacks, the doors, the whole front of the building can be opened up for airflow, and all of the doors are hanging wide open. It's late in the afternoon. It's only about an hour before sundown when Princess is going to need you back, but it's enough time to come up here and at least have a conversation. Just step inside the closest thing you could call it would be a dwarven hippie. Some long braided hair, his beard's all braided little tiny rows. Looks high.
Nice.
Walks up to you and goes, "Howdy. What can I do for you?"
You Otto.
Indeed I am. I am the one and only Otto Smithshine.
Well, Princess sent us over, and
Princess, you say?
yeah.
Oh, well then,
She,
what can I do for you?
well, she said to come see if maybe you got a job for me. I worked the Smith over at the town right across the way.
He goes, "Oh, you worked with," and he name drops your smithy mentor.
We'll check what it was.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh wait, no, it's on. Hold on, it's on the iPad. Give me a sec here. That's right.
Too many devices. All the devices. Ah.
I know, too many devices.
Yeah, right. Technology is supposed to make our life simpler. it made the globe smaller. I mean, we are zooming from 3,000 miles away, so
Oh, yeah, no kidding. That is pretty sweet. Bormley.
Bormley. Ah, you worked with Bormley.
Yes, I did
Radical.
for quite a long time.
It must be that apprentice he grumbles. I mean, compliments all the time. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, if
it,
you
it,
got something for me,
it's nothing glamorous, but it'll keep you fed.
that's what I'm looking to do is make some coin.
Okay. Pays a gold a day, and it's piecework. You show up, you do a day's work, you get a day's pay. So,
All right.
so you guys work out a schedule in such a way that it'll not interfere with your housing establishment's requirements of you. And yeah, you guys end up standing back outside the smelter. Its giant sign over the door says the Crucible on it. You look around, you got about a half hour left before sun goes down, and you're needed at the tavern.
I'm heading back.
Yeah, I'll head back too.
All right, then. You guys wander back in with about 15 minutes to spare, no problem. You weren't in a huge rush, but town's not that big. Like I said, it's only a couple thousand people, mostly dwarfs. Seems strange, Fenrir, as you're walking through this, you feel extra tall. You're not used to this many dwarves. Like 75% are barely come up to your waist. So you're practically wading through the streets. You're like, it's a little unnerving. But you guys get back in, and true to form, as the sun goes down, you get set up on stage, do your performance. Fenrir, you parking yourself at the door, the bar, you're at perch on the corner of the stage.
I'm gonna
Gonna
sit at the
hide in the
bar.
rafters like a bat. No.
Just hanging from my legs.
There wasn't a real in-depth job description for this job, so
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit at the bar and just kind of hang out.
from behind the bar, Princess leans forward. She goes, they're a little watered down, but do you want one? Sets a mug on the bar. It's a good looking golden ale, big fat foamy head on it.
I will pick that up, tip the glass, and take a drink.
Are you drinking it, or is it going to last you the next 20 minutes?
Um, I'll do the first half. I'm gonna down about half of it, and then I'll sip the rest.
Cool. Make me a perception check just for ha-has.
Oh
Oh, that was
boy.
pretty good. Shit.
I'd like to
That would
remind
be
you that I'm small and I cannot carry you up the stairs.
an 18.
An 18. As you set the mug down, you catch your reflection in the glass and you realize you've got a big old white foamy mustache. What you do with that information is all up to you.
I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it clean.
Okay. So yeah, as the sun goes down, the front door hanging wide open becomes highly popular as dwarves, ones, twos, groups of 5 start filling in. And you start realizing this room's designed for probably 30 people, and it's pushing almost twice that before it slows down. Numerous of the tables are pushed out of the way and completely ignored as they take up and build a dance floor as the music plays through the room. Even slow songs, they're out there swaying along. They're loving every minute of it. They seem to be real fanatical about any music. Give me a performance check to see how good it got.
I was just gonna say I rolled an 18 for a performance check before you
Okay.
asked.
Very nice. I'll take that. Rolling in anticipation is not a waste in my world. So you see Princess behind the bar looking happy and melting at the same time because she is in a hustle. She is pulling beers and shucking them out over that bar as fast as she can go. And
A few more upbeat ones to get them dancing, but not so rowdy, you know.
you're masterfully keeping them thirsty, and it shows. Your time goes by, everything, it's great. You get one minor little scuffle that Fenrir, you kind of wander over there and give him the stink eye from way up there.
Basically a giant. Yeah.
And even these thick dwarves, these are minors. These guys are yoked. Look up at you like, and they're like holding each other, the scruff of each other's necks. And they look up at you and they slowly let go. And they just kind of step back. One of them even like brushes some of the wrinkles out of the other guy's tunic a little bit, like,
So,
and then
sorry.
they wander in different directions. But the evening winds down, and almost like clockwork, right around 3 hours, the place just starts draining out. You look outside, the town is slowly just basically shutting down in the evening.
Long day work. They come party hard for a couple hours and go home to get some sleep. I like it.
Everything winds down. I stop playing and go claim my meal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and eat as well.
You hop up on a stool at the bar next to Fenrir as she comes out with 2 platters of really decent food. This woman does not skimp. This woman does not deprive. She's not only an eater, but she's a feeder. And she brings you out enough food that easily one plate could have fed both of you, but you got to. There's veg, there's like a half a chicken on each plate, etc., etc. It's good food. She sets them down, and with a genuine warmth of a smile on her face, she goes, I never knew when today started so awful how it could possibly end this well. That last Bard, I think he cost me more money than he made me. She reaches behind the counter and pulls out a cash box and pops it open. And there's got to be a good 500 gold pieces in there. She goes, this is just tonight. She looks at the two of you. What the hell are you doing busking in a bar? Frankly. I mean, don't get me wrong. Stay as long as you want. And she pats the box with the gold in it.
You're just a mid stop for me, my dear, but I'm not sure where I want to land yet.
Oh. You've got the itch. You got bit by the bard bug, didn't you?
Well, most definitely.
Oh, darling. The stories I could tell you about your predecessors. And I'm sure the next 20 bards to come. It's, well, I knew someone who used to say, may your life be ever interesting. I always thought it was a bit of a curse until I met bards that have been bit. Frankly, and she turns and looks at Fenrir. She's going to be a handful. You think you can keep up?
I don't think it's her. Well, I don't think it's me that needs to be worried about here.
She looks back at Bear. He's cute.
He has his moments.
I'll let out a little chuckle on that one.
Plops a couple more mugs. Basically, she gave you a beer, basically, each of you one every roughly hour or so. And it's pretty watered down. You ain't getting a buzz off this stuff, but it's mellow. It keeps your whistle wet. And people around there seem to buy enough of them. They love it. So
I'll again same thing, half down half of it and sip the rest.
eventually she gives you directions up to where your guys' rooms will be. And they're nothing fancy. Even the nice rooms, they've just got like a better bed, but they're no bigger. All the rooms are the same size. It's enough for one butt, a small table.
They're not dwarf size beds, are they?
No. There
Okay.
are some, they have some fine dwarvish accommodations. You don't necessarily need to take those unless you want to.
No,
If you need the experience, I don't want to take that away from you. I want
I'll take the big boy bed.
I want you to have liberties in your own game. Anyway,
I look around and I say, "Oh, it's nicer than Fenrir's dad's bar. It'd be good here."
the only real difference is at your old place, it was a little. It's that weird grunge that's just on everything. It's like a layer of dust that you just can't get away from. Where back in your previous place, Spotless was the name of the game. It's the only big difference. Now, just mechanics wise, if you had a wand of prestidigitation or access to it yourself,
Yes, I
feel
have
free
the
to
cantrip, so I spend the time to
feel free to take
prestidigitate.
5 minutes to give it a once over, and now you got a clean room. It won't stay that way. Give it a
That's
week,
okay.
but
I can do it every day. I'm
there you
good.
go. But yeah, you guys' travels went fairly well. You hit a bit of a snafu, but sometime after dark, the train manages to limp its way in. You hear the train finally made it. Did you hear what happened? Whispers kind of murmuring through the crowd in the tavern, and everybody's got an idea what happened. They're all wrong, as usual. I mean, that's just how the rumor mill goes. But there's enough details in there. Your anonymity doesn't seem to be an issue. Nobody seems to know it was you guys. If anybody,
Are they staying till the morning or are they leaving again the same night?
that train for the time being is in for the night. But again, trains come and go from these towns regularly. Every day or two, a train's in or a train's out. It's pretty quick turnover. It's a moneymaker.
I just want to go check in on them in the morning if they're still there.
Gotcha. They usually don't leave before sunup, so if you get over to the train depot before then, they probably won't have left yet.
Okay.
So you guys slowly unwind, but before you go upstairs, Princess looks at the two of you. Oh, you got bit by the bard bug. What gave you wanderlust, Titan?
I just needed to get the hell out of that city that I lived in.
Huh. That's probably the most common story I hear coming through these places. Travelers, they just either running towards something or running away from it, or both. It motivates, that's for sure.
And with a dad like his, I don't blame him at all.
Family. God bless them.
And at the mention of my dad, I'll kind of just let out a sigh and push out and head upstairs.
As you walk away, you hear Princess kind of quietly, but you overheard it well enough. Look at Bear and go, he's in pain, isn't he?
More than you know.
And she sighs deeply, and you head up the stairs. Anything else before morning rolls around?
Nope.
Just taking the time to clean my room before I'm willing to lay down in it.
Totally. by the nature of your spell, I'm going to give you it'd give you a half an idea as you're cleaning. If there was like bug issues, you don't find any. They're clean, they're just grungy, and you clean the clean. No infestations. Cool. So, are you hopping out before sunup to try to catch the train? Do you want to make plans with Fenrir to go with you, or are you just going to do?
I'm just gonna do.
Okay. Fenrir, breakfast plans. When you getting up? What are you doing?
Well, I gotta get up. I'm basically gonna get up and have a quick bite before I head to the smelter.
Perfect. So you put your work boots on, grab your gloves, and head on out the door with your luncheon box.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. The thermos in one half of it, and a hard-boiled egg, and a half a sandwich in the other.
We're 9 to 5 in this shit.
Exactly. You know, we're blue collar in this. D&D goes blue collar. Ah, shit. You make it over and find the train in short order. It's busily unloading whatever the cargo was. You notice the young lad sitting on the edge of the train, his little feet dangling over the edge of the top step by the cab.
He's who I was looking for. I go sit down next to him.
He glances over at you. He goes back to playing with, you're not quite sure what it is. He turns it and twists it. It's some sort of puzzle box that seems really enthralled with at the moment.
Wait, the scary day you had yesterday, wasn't it?
Huh.
Everything work out okay?
Hmm.
Well, I just wanted to make sure you were good.
Hmm.
Do you talk at all?
Hmm.
Okay. I'm very to stick out my hand to shake his hand.
He beeps your nose with his finger. He just reaches past and beeps your nose.
Just smile and give him a wink.
He
And I get up and
giggles.
walk away.
Psst.
Turn around and look at him.
And then he runs back into the train cab.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
What? No.
I was gonna say, as you're stepping away, you notice one of the guards, a bandage still wrapped around his head, up towards the head of the train. You notice he sees you notice, but doesn't. He just takes a moment and acknowledges you're there, basically.
Okay. I'll just nod at him and turn and walk away.
Cool.
I want to find a. How do I want to word this? I want to find a
Prostitute.
street corner. I am keeping an eye out looking for basically like little street urchins, catwalk thieves. I want to find my way to the local thieves' den.
Okay. Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Yeah, 5. So not good.
They only rolled a 9. So you see them here, there, just the barest glimpse, though. Either they're really good or they're really lucky. Because you see at least 3 different youths, like you said, street urchins. But when you notice them, they've long since noticed you, and all you see is them kind of just almost shadow back around a corner. But it's obvious they were watching you.
Okay. I will pick a street corner that looks like I don't know, maybe it's on the way to the mines where a
Okay.
lot of people will be passing by,
Sure.
and just sit on the corner and lightly play my songs for a little bit.
As you set up, a local, I guess, beat cop, a foot cop, a minor enforcer in this town walks by and goes, "You know the ordinance, no stairway to heaven." He keeps walking. Seems to be the only rule.
Okay.
Um, After an hour and a half or so, you glance up and across the street. You see one of these street urchins leaning against a lamppost, just plain as day. Didn't see him show up, just there.
Look at him and wink.
He gets a little quirk at the corner of his mouth. You continue to play, and he stands there. And at one point, a wagon rolls through, and when it passes by, he's gone.
Okay. I wait for, I'll call it the breakfast rush to be over. And then I'm gonna head back to the tavern and get my own breakfast.
Nope. So you guys spend a day at your leisure for the most part. Fenrir, you're kind of feeling like this might work. You're in there, it's sweaty, it's stupid hot. I mean, stupid hot. But it's hard muscle aching. It takes your mind off of it. You can immerse yourself into this physical, repetitive. They've got you shoveling. You're just shoveling. The furnace door opens, you shovel. It closes, you take a breath. It opens, you shovel. It becomes mindless. It becomes, you get lost in it. The hours drain by, and just, it's cathartically zen at one point. You just kind of slip out of your thoughts, and it all goes away. All the memories, all the chaos. It goes blessedly silent, at least for a little while. You know it's not sustainable. You've been here before, but even at the smithy, it was never quite this. No thought involved. There's no craft. There's no end product. You're you're a cog, but it's a blessing. You know you're going to be sore, but that's okay. That comes with its own benefits.
Yep.
Yep. Anything you want to do after lunch, Bear?
Yeah, I want to find Ned's.
Okay. Okay. Um, it's not too hard to do, as in most towns, Ned's is, well, it's kind of got a bit of a place of honor. Every town has a Ned's, and every town's Ned's is almost sacred ground, if that seems not too strange concept. It's definitely hallowed ground. Maybe not religiously, but everybody respects Ned's. You don't fight in Ned's. Ned's is like the barber shop. This is neutral territory. Everybody gets along okay. You can have disagreements, but keep it civil. Um, and yeah, Ned's covers all your necessities. That's what Ned. Yep.
I need some more crossbow bolts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's always a plentiful stock at Ned's.
Okay. So I'm just gonna replenish those and kind of, I don't know, look around and get a feel for the store.
Okay. It's definitely a smaller outlet. Doesn't have quite the variety, but as far as your standard, maybe they don't have a shit ton of silken rope, but they've got a little bit. They've got your standard ropes. They got tents. They've got camping supplies. They got rations. They've got some of your basic weaponry. Again, not the biggest variety, but as for the oddities, the fun little accoutrements that every Ned's just somehow manages to acquire, accrue. Rumors abound, but how it really happens, maybe we'll learn someday. He's got a handful of interesting wands. They're actual spell wands, unlike the cantrip wands that are prolific everywhere. These ones actually have rechargeable charges in them. He does warn you they're pricey, but well worth it. And he starts by pulling out a wand of magic missiles. It's got 3 charges, rechargeable at dawn every day. And he goes, and it's my most affordable object of my wands collection at 170 gold. Which again, if we do the math on it, we add a couple zeros because gold pieces are $100 bills. So 170 gold, that'd be $17,500.
And I just kind of giggle and I'm like, well, I'll be back for that in a few, I don't know,
Well,
days, years.
I can't promise it'll be here. I can't hold product for anybody. It's unfortunately whoever can afford it first. Just so
I
you
understand.
Okay, it's our policy. I just, I like to be clear on these things. Was there anything else that I mean, frankly, if that price is seeming a little steep for you right now, I don't know what else I got that other than the fabulous tent I just got in. That's much more affordable. But in these objects, he's trying to cross sale.
Right.
Good name.
How about healing potions?
So I do have a few different options with that. It really comes down to you could go with the traditional glass vial liquid thing, or we've got, and he opens up this little case and he's got literally like medibles, individual wrapped gummies, and each one of them is a healing gummy. There's a lot of adventures like these because they don't break. And then we've got these, and it was like I was mentioning earlier, where they're a pressure bandage that you push on top of a bleeding wound. It does 1 hit point and staunches the bleeding.
Okay.
The healing potions are a gold apiece. The healing gummies are a gold apiece, and the pressure bandages, you can get 6 of them for gold.
Okay, hold on, 6 per 1 gold piece. I was trying to.
Yep. I appreciate you doing the notes. It's all good.
Heals 1 hit point and what? Stops
Staunches bleeding. So if there's a bleed condition, I basically figure you're bleeding. If somebody does over half your hit points in 1 shot, there will be other things that'll do it. But if you go from full health to bloodied in 1 shot, that's a bleeding wound. That's gonna leak a minute.
Yeah, that hurts. That's like arterial damage.
Yeah, it's that one that goes psst. Exactly.
Healing potion glass vials are 1 gold piece, and healing potion gummies
are a gold piece.
It'd be like every turn you get a squirt of blood. That's like 4 hit points.
No, I just do 1.
Just one.
Just 1.
Do you have the healing paths?
The what?
Healing paths.
Healing Pez. No. Unfortunately, this location, we don't stock that product.
And how much do the healing do? The gummies and the potion? 10 hit points? Is that?
It's a D4 plus 1 per level. So a level 1 healing potion would do 5 points, just straight up. And we will just do healing potions, all simple, like we're gonna have Mark 1s, Mark 2s, or level 1s, level 2s, and they will just scale up.
Okay. I will take 3 of the gummies.
Sweet.
Okay.
So advantage to the glass vial is you can pour it down somebody else's throat. Disadvantages, they're a little bit fragile. They can break. The gummies are stable, but they're like self-use. You kind of gotta be conscious to chew it up, I guess, or swallow it. Where a liquid you can pour down. And then the pressure bandages are just great for not only doing the 1 hit point, but
And you said I already have some of the magical compresses. How many do I have?
3.
Okay.
Is that both of us or just her?
You can have 3 as well if you'd like. There's something that in my head would be kind of standard. Everybody'd have them. They're affordable, and that was part of your saving up, is to be able to have just the bare essentials. You don't want to starve. You don't need to. You got these pressure bandages because, well, shit happens. Somebody might shoot you in the leg. It's
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm good. I'm gonna go find another corner to husk on again.
cool. Any other flavor before dinner?
Oh.
Okay. Did you guys migrate back to the tavern? You actually show up at pretty much the same time. Fenrir, you're covered in that telltale grime that covers, well, the whole city. And kind of a sweaty mess.
I make any money busking?
Yeah, you made the better part of a gold, so let's just call it a gold piece. It's
Okay.
easier math. And Fenrir, you got your gold piece for working your day. Because because it is day labor type pay, you get one every day. Makes life easy. That way, if you don't come back tomorrow, it's no big deal. They get it. As you guys step into the tavern, it's still early enough. You still got about 45 minutes before the crowd comes in, if they stick to a pattern, which Princess pretty much said they're a real timely group. But as you step in, you see the rifleman in uniform, his rifle leaning against the chair from the train. You guys walk in, he stands, walks over to Fenrir, looks up at you. No hard feelings?
You're still alive, aren't you?
Well, frankly, that's why I'm here, is to ask if I will be tomorrow, because frankly, it's been weighing on me, and I'm big guy. You scared the hell out of all of us. And I'm not sure if you're the type to hold a grudge. So I'm here to make peace if that's what it takes.
Don't worry about it. You're the least of my worries, so
We're good.
we're good.
You see him visibly relax a little bit, let out a half of a breath he seemed to be holding. It's it didn't come through at all.
Who's the kid?
He turns and looks at you. He goes, "Oh, the little mute? That's our conductor. He drives the train."
What?
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
We call him Emmanuel. We don't know what his actual name is. And he looks like he's about 9 years old, but he's older than all of us.
Interesting.
Really worried yesterday, so I just wanted to make sure he was doing okay.
Copy that. Yeah, he's a tough little guy. He's seen a lot. Very emotional, obviously, but he's a lot more than he seems. So don't worry too much.
Right. Well, I'm glad to see you all are doing good and have a good night.
Yeah, it sounds like we're out of here in 2 more days. Finally offload and get things reloaded, but it'll be
A
nice
long
to.
time for a train to be in one stop.
Well, it's unfortunately it's a hand load system. Cargo only gets on and off so quick. If you ever found a better way to load and unload these train cars, it would revolutionize the system. But until then, at least it's job security for me. And I get to visit all kinds of cool places. I also get attacked by raving bands of kobolds, apparently, and he slowly turns and wanders back over to collect his jacket and his rifle from at the table. Kind of just maybe a bit of a 1,000-yard stare going as he mumbles to himself and wanders away.
My dinner before I sing this time.
Um, yeah. So you guys kind of get into a bit of a routine. Is there anything interesting you want to do over the next few days? Maybe even up to a week?
I'm still gonna search for the Thieves Guild.
Yeah. You have repeated it, and you're noticing it's almost like one of them has taken himself upon being your shadow. When you see him, it's the same kid repeatedly.
I'm just making it obvious that I have interest, but I'm not trying to impede on their territory.
And they seem to be completely content with status quo as is. You're being observed, and you're doing your observing. Benner?
I don't think so. I think I'm just here for the grind right now.
Okay. As the grind goes on, you look forward to the tranquility of it. It's almost reluctant when the end of the day comes around. You got to go back and deal with people again. The metal, the coal, the shovel, the the rhythm of it all speaks to your soul. People are so messy. So many times they shit on your shoes, sometimes literally. It's but there's still that small part of you that thinks that returning to civilization, as it were, wouldn't be so bad either. You don't see how. It doesn't feel attainable, but it sounds neat. Whatever. Shovel some more coal. A couple times in the bar, a couple dwarves get out of pocket, but you more or less break it up in such a way like you stick your hand on the little kid's forehead and hold him at distance, and he swings wildly but can't. Just desperate fat kid in a fight. It's not working out real well.
Nice.
And it's not that these dwarves are pushovers. You've got the reach advantage, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. One of them calls you a couple nasty names and looks like he's going to go for a weapon, but you hear something behind you as Princess goes, ah, ah, ah. And you glance over, and she's holding what feels like a giant wand. It's not a wand. It looks more like a long wooden stick, a good sized cane sized wand. But in her hand, she's holding it two-handed, almost like a trident overhand. And as she brings it down, this dwarf looks up at her and his whole body just stiffens. Like he's stuck in a piece of amber. He's just locked there. A gentle blue-white glow emanates from the tip of this staff she's holding. She goes, Wallace, we've had discussions about this. If you can't behave yourself, you're not welcome in here anymore. You see Wallace's eyes twitch just a little bit. She goes, I'm going to let you loose now. Are you going to play nice? She releases the glow, and he stomps his foot, spits in her direction, and storms towards the door. As he clears the doorway and exits out. Hey, Fenrir, if he comes back, remind him he's not welcome anymore, please.
You got it.
Usually Wallace is okay company, but unfortunately there's days he's his demons get the best of him. So I tried. And she looks solemn. She looks disappointed. Like she likes Wallace, but Wallace is just a little more than she's ready to handle right now.
Get it.
Cool.
You got it.
So a week goes by of this steady. So at this point, you guys have each made 7 gold because I figure your busking is paying about the same as his smithing. Your needs are being met, and things are going okay. A few opportunities have floated through, but none of them seemed like they fit or they were worth it or they weren't paying for shit. Some of them were just like, can you clean out my basement of these rodents and I'll pay you 3 copper a day? Yeah. It nothing to pull you away from what you're doing. But there, your wanderlust and your story needs are calling to you. Fenrir, this is working, but it's losing its effect. Each day you're more and more troubled with your thoughts again. You're being haunted. Thoughts and images of your dad, thoughts and images of that night when damn it, for a minute there you thought you were going to kill him. Just, I mean, not figuratively. You for a damn minute there you thought frankly you thought you had killed him. Starts creeping, starts digging its way back in. You see images of it when you close your eyes. You're not sure, but something change needs to happen, whatever that looks like. As you guys are working in the same tavern, kind of doing the same things, you casually let slip that maybe you're both feeling the itch to get moving again. And one night you decide to actually discuss it.
Where are we going next?
I don't know. This isn't. I don't know. This isn't working anymore. Gotta find
check.
something out.
I can check and see if there's any more deliveries that need made.
Something. I'll go check the board and see what we can find. But
Well, there's a bulletin board in this tavern.
is it okay?
So Princess notices you guys glance at it more than once. She comes over as this conversation's happening, leans up against the bar next to you. Says, well, hate to see it happening, but I've seen it so many times before that I know it for what it is. And if you're not minding me saying so, you two make a hell of a team. It's like I said, I've seen a lot of your kind come and go. I've seen the ones that make it, and I've seen the ones that fake it. And I've seen the ones that are just so arrogance driven that there's no hope. I've seen it all. What I've also seen is the ones, like I said, that make it, that work. You guys, there's something unique there. I can't put my finger on it, but don't throw it away so easy. If you're ever questioning each other, or well, questioning yourself, just remember you're not alone. And maybe that's the most powerful thing about a group, is you're not alone. Do you have any thoughts on which way you want to go?
Whichever way is going to pay me the most money, I guess.
Tell you what, give me 2 more days. Stick around here 2 more days, and I'll talk to some people and see what I can find. I can guarantee I can find you something. How good? Can't guarantee that, but I won't bring you trash.
Sounds good.
In the meantime, she sets a couple more mugs of this watered down ale up on the bar, grabs one for herself, and smiles. Let's enjoy it while we're here.
All right. Yep.
Drink
I'm
one.
gonna. Yep. Half down, sip the rest.
So go ahead and chalk up 2 more gold, because you're staying for 2 more days.
Okay.
I actually do not go to my day job for the last 2 days.
Okay.
I do still I appear as though I'm going, but I do not go to the job.
Okay. Are we sharing with where do you go, or do you just disappear for a couple of?
I just disappear for the day, and again, not I don't whether she would notice or not. I don't think it would make it. I don't think she would notice, but yeah, I do not go to the job.
Okay, cool. A couple days later, Princess looks over at you guys after you're done with your shifts. She goes, well, as I promised, I found a couple more opportunities, but one of them definitely pays better than the other 2. You want all the options, or shall I just tell you about the really profitable one?
Let's
With
hear
all the options.
Let's hear them all.
There's, well, as you know, and I'm going to state this as canon. So, as you know, the train tracks also carry a carnival. It does its rounds a few times a year, comes to each town one after another. Well, it's due in about a month. And in the area where they set up, things have, well, they're in a bit of shambles. Well, it sucks. It needs basic overhauled work. It's day labor. It pays 6 gold for 3 days worth of work, most likely. So technically, you're making double what you're currently doing, but it doesn't get you out of here. There's a hunting party that's heading, an exploration hunting party that's looking for muscle to head out with them, and it's the indeterminate value. They're going to pay 10 gold upon return, upon their safe return. You would go with, you would be the muscle to keep them safe. And when you got back, it's a flat 10 plus a percentage of whatever take they glean. They didn't give a whole lot of details on where and how far away it was, but potentially it could be, depending on what you guys find, quite profitable. And the third one is there's a problem, well, frankly, real deep down in these mines. And it's paying 400 gold pieces for completion. But there's a danger involved, a risk for sure. There have been reports of strange noises coming from, well, deeper in the mines. There more than one dwarf has been run out of there with wounds on him, claiming a shadow came alive and was tearing them apart, and all they could do is run. What the shadow may or may not be, we don't know. We're looking for investigation and potentially extermination, removal, neutralization. But yeah, 400 gold pieces upon completion. It doesn't necessarily take you away from this town directly, but it gets you out of town and doing something for profit.
I don't know. That last one sounds pretty enticing.
Sounds like a great thing to write a song about. I'm in.
Princess just raises an eyebrow. She goes, "That was rather casually decided upon. Are you sure? I wouldn't want to bring this to my contact if you weren't truly committed to it."
That kind of money, and I get to potentially kill some shit. I'm in. I'm in.
She turns and winks at you and goes, "I thought I read that about you. You're one of those barbarian types, aren't you?"
Nailed it on the head.
Huh. Can't say I've ever met one of your kind before, and I see a lot of folk through here. Interesting. Maybe I should buy you a stiffer drink one day and hear some of you. Well, hear all of it, but not right now. Because that's the other thing
I
about
don't know
this.
if we're ready for that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But that's the other thing is this job starts at midnight. They're going in before the sun comes up so they can get deep enough. They can get you down there. It's an exploration team. But when it comes to the actual combat, they're no help. They're miners, they're cartographers, map makers. But in a scrap, frankly, they're about worthless. Just don't want you to get your expectations up.
Okay.
So, shall I contact my informant and have you rendezvous with them?
Let's do it.
Who? Any preparation you guys want to do as far as any other quick shopping and stuff? Technically, you have time. It's a little on the late side as far as the day, but Ned's doesn't ever seem to close. It's like 24 hours or something. You're not quite sure. You've never gone at 2 a.m., but you know he's still open if you needed to go grab something simple.
I'm gonna go get 5 of the healing gummies.
Cool. So that'll be 5 gold. Mechanics point. I do play that if you drink multiple potions, wild magic surge can happen. Now, if it's a healing and a healing, that's same medicine, no big deal. But if you drink a healing potion and an invisibility potion, you might get the tummy rumbles or something. We'll have to see.
All right.
So,
sounds good.
You might turn into a toad. It's just these kind of things, magic. It's unpredictable. So, midnight rolls around. You find yourself standing outside.
Hold on. I am going to say it is already 9:30 here, so Is
Yeah,
this
I
a
was
good
gonna,
place
yeah,
to stop for next time?
probably
Yeah,
a good place
I,
to
I
stop.
wanted to build the hook and then cut
Got it.
without going in. As you show up to the cave opening, you see a venerable old dwarf, white beard, mostly the way to his knees. He looks over at you. He goes, "Oh, it's you guys. Where you've met this dwarf. You delivered parcels to him a week and a half ago." He steps forward. "I'm Cade. This is Albert. And this is Delvin. Three of us will show you the way down there. If you give us any trouble, I'll knock your head into the wall." He turns and walks into the cave. You find
I'll
yourself
follow.
stepping in to the gloomy entrance and then the darkness beyond. Just inside, there's a box. In the box, Cade goes, "Grab them if you need them," and keeps walking. There are used, battered, scuffed, tired old goggles of night. They can give you dark vision for while you're in here.
I grab one.
Yep.
They look a little bit like the 3D glasses at the movie theater, but flimsier. So you want to be a little careful with them. But you strap them on and stride forth into the caverns. As you're going down, Cade keeps a somewhat constant narrative about all the horror stories that have been told about whatever it is down at the bottom of these caverns. It's fucking up dwarves and fucking them up good. He says more than once they've actually found just corpses that have been torn to shreds, deep lacerations. Most of the assailants look like they bled out from just 1,000 cuts. Tells you a few of the horror stories of what people suspect it might be, everywhere from full-on ghouls and wraiths down to shades, shadows, or just really stealthy assassins. Everybody's heard of rogues that are that good, but what the hell's it doing down there? The logic of it just doesn't seem to line up. But you delve deeper and deeper into these caverns. Finally, Cade stops and points across the huge ravine, natural feature underground, its vastness belied only by the echo that ripples through it with every boot heel. You smell dampness. You hear wind blowing, but it's still dark. A gentle glow covers some of the walls where it seems like phosphorescent algae is reflecting, but it doesn't really produce much other than to cause a silhouette to give you half a clue where the walls are in spots. A large stone arching bridge is carved right out of the stone itself. Cade stops and looks at you and goes, "This is as far as we go, but we'll set up camp on this side. You need to come running back in a hurry. Just come back hooping and hollering so we have time to run too." And he turns and wanders away from the two of you, leaving you standing at this foot of this arching bridge, which is vast, probably 100 feet long, 20 feet wide, a good 9-10 feet thick, even in its thinnest parts. You both look at each other briefly and realize no point in turning around now.
All right.
Mechanics question. When you cast Bardic Inspiration on somebody, how long does it say it lasts? Don't remember if that was one of the ones that's like 1 minute or...
Think so. Let me grab my reading glasses because I need those a lot now.
Mine are upstairs, so it's all good.
Inspiration die lasts for 10 minutes or until it is used by the creature that has it.
10 minutes. Nice. That's cool.
Not bad.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
That was fun.
I put that town together this afternoon. I've got a new toy that Andrew downloaded for me. It's a town builder in 5 easy steps. And it was actually kind of cool. Just first of all, have permission to not figure out every NPC in the entire town. Let's have a few key NPCs and a few key points, and we can wing the
Yeah.
rest of it.
Yeah.
That made my life a whole lot easier.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was fun. I enjoyed it.
Righty.
Sweet.
See you
Yeah.
next week.
I'm getting
Yes.
sleepy.
Sure will. All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Sounds like a plan. Night, y'all.
Love you.
Hey, Jojo.
Ciao.
Hugs and kisses to us.
Yeah. Bye, guys.